Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. Check that out for a t-shirt, by the way. Virgil van Strauch. You can go get that on All Leeds TV on the merch store. Honestly, it's an absolute thing of beauty. I've been rocking it today round Seaham in the sun like a don. You know, I can see people looking, thinking, who's that? And I'm like, it's the next best thing, baby. Anyway, you're here for Combined 11. It's Leeds versus Manchester United. It's the renewal of that long rivalry. I got Karthik on from All For United. I hope you enjoy the video. Please don't be too bad when I'm agreeing with Man United players going in the side. I have to, you know, be a bit fair. Karthik knows really it should be all Leeds, but it is what it is. But no, listen, enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel, smash a like. Karthik's a top dude. So yeah, enjoy the video, check it out. And yeah, I'll stop rambling now. Peace. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. And it's time for another Combined 11. Of course, Leeds renew rivalries at the weekend with the old enemy in Manchester United. I've got Karthik with me from All For United. How are you doing, Karthik? You all right?
Not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to another 6-2, hopefully.
Yeah, well, don't remind me of that. It was bad times. My mate's a Manchester United fan. I was chatting with him earlier, and we're undefeated in 5. We've yet to be beaten at home against the Super 6 sides, as they're called. We're the only side. Yeah, the Super 6. We're the only side yet to be beaten by a Super 6 side at home. Yous are undefeated away from home, I believe.
Yep.
So there's a little record there. Just briefly, how do you see it going the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm glad that there's no fans in the stadiums, because that's a different story altogether. Yeah, a trip to Ayling, especially first season back, the first game back against you lot. I think you'll miss that, definitely, and I think that will play a part. But I think you lot are licking your wounds after the last time we played you, so you'll have your own sort of revenge for that. But in terms of the records, I think I'm confident in terms of that. We can do it away from home. All we've got to do is concede first.
Yeah.
Then we're fine.
Well, I was going to say, like 9 times out of 10, if Leeds go in front, we very rarely drop points. I think there's only like Villa, maybe City, only a couple of teams that are above us in that. Obviously, Villa was 0 until they lost yesterday, of course. But our record when going in front is good. It always has been under Bielsa. But then at the same time, like whenever I watch Manchester United, if I'm going to have a gamble, I always go the home team half-time, Manchester United full-time, because it just seems to be the running case this season for them. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Right, mate, let's get into it then. We've decided off there we're going to go with a 4-3-3. We'll start, obviously, in between the sticks. Now, I'm really going to push Ilya Meslier in this one, right? And the reason being, he's not been in any of my sides yet, right? I put in Areola ahead of him, and I got loads of stick.
I'd give you stick for that.
Yeah, exactly. I did get loads of stick. Of course, I had Alisson and Ederson ahead of him when we played Liverpool, and Manchester City, respectively. But Manchester United, I mean, De Gea's, obviously this is based on form as always, so you pick, I'm assuming, is going to be Henderson.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think Meslier's had a fantastic season, first season in the Premier League, youngest goalkeeper to get, I think he broke Joe Hart's record for the number of clean sheets under the age of 21. So I'm really going to push for Meslier, but I want to hear what you're gonna have to say about Henderson.
Look, I'm not going to dispute that Melier's had a very good season. I don't think anyone expected him to. I think when he first came in, I myself looked at him, I thought, he looks about 12, first of all. Someone check his passport. Second, no, he has done well, but for me, it's got to be Dean Henderson, simply because of he's usurped David De Gea. Now, you can say De Gea was, out of form. You can say that he wasn't really performing well. The meme of David De Gea was that getting beat at his near post. That was it. But I think Dean Henderson has shown that level of maturity. Now, there's one thing going to Sheffield United and making save after save after save, but when you come to United, it's a different story. And I think he's taken that on. He's played against some of the bigger teams. He's put in some good performances of late. Tottenham, of course, was a fantastic showing from him as well. I just have to say it's got to be Dean Henderson. Plus, he's number 1 for his country. He's got to be anyway.
Yeah, it should be maybe. Look, I hear your argument. However, what I'm going to say, and we said this off air, it's my channel.
Yeah,
I
I
make
know
the
what you're
rules.
about to say. I know what you're about to say. There you go.
But I think just for the simple fact, yes, Henderson has done good. He has usurped De Gea, as you say. But for me, Melier has been in since the start. So based on overall over the season, I'm going to stick Ilya Melier in there. I'm sorry, Karthik, mate, but he's
I mean,
going in.
if that's your reason, I can accept it a little bit because Dean Henderson
Good
was
man.
there from the start.
Good man. Good man. Right back then, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, for me, got to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, other than Trent in the Premier League, I don't think there's a better right back than him. Particularly, you know, we all know his defensive capabilities insane. You can't beat him in a 1v1. But this season, he's picked up going forward as well. And I can't remember what the stat was. I think it was from December. No one created more chances in the Premier League in terms of fullbacks than Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. And that just shows how much Wan-Bissaka's pushed on. But I think you're about to give me a shout for Luke Ayling, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. He is in my team, Luke Ayling, just because there was a stage of the season, admittedly, he has dropped off slightly, but I think that's a lot to do with the fact that Leeds have been a bit more defensive. As we've seen when we went to Old Trafford, we were in that period where we were just going all-out attack. And, of course, we lost that game 6-2, and Bielsa's made little tweaks, and he doesn't get as far forward as we're used to seeing him. But there was a period of time where he was up there with top midfielders in European football for most progressive runs, most progressive ball carries, you know, all these sort of stats. And for a right back, it was absolutely insane. So are you not feeling Ayling at all?
No, I mean, I do like Ayling. I think he's decent, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka's just another level, isn't he? I mean, put it this way: going forward, they've sort of both similar abilities. Maybe Luke Ayling just a little bit more. I'd say defensively, if you're comparing them, Wan-Bissaka trumps Ayling's attacking ability, if that makes sense. So that would be my reasoning for it.
I'm just right. Okay, I'm going to concede right back. Okay, Leeds United fans will not be happy. But I'm going to concede right back, which means I'm going to save that little concede in the bank for when we debate another one in a bit. Let's move. We'll move on to left back, and the reason that I'll move on to left back is because straight away, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's been arguably the best, or if not the best, left back in the league this season. I know. Look, Leeds fans will mention Stuart Dallas, but he's been playing as a midfielder recently, and Alioski is nowhere near the level that Shaw's been at this season. So Luke Shaw all day. Do you think he's the best left back in England? Would you say he'd have to start for you over Chilwell?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, look, I was known for being the guy who gave Luke Shaw a lot of criticism last season. Now, I kept saying that he wasn't good enough. I thought Brandon Williams should have been starting ahead of him. And then when Alex Telles came in, I was almost celebrating it. But when I said that Luke Shaw wasn't good enough, I gave specific reasons as to why, because I thought going forward, he wasn't making enough overlapping runs. I thought he wasn't, his passing wasn't up to scratch, and I thought defensively his positioning was poor. But this season, he's ticked off all of those and he's improved them all, and now he's looking like the best left back in the league, possibly one of the best left backs in Europe. So I think that's one of the easier ones on this team. So I'd agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like you. When Telles came in, I thought that was it for Luke Shaw. But the fact that Telles has hardly played and Luke Shaw, maybe he needed that, Karthik. Maybe he needed that little bit of pressure on his position, and he's just gone from strength to strength. Let's move on to centre backs then. My main shout for me is going to be Diego Llorente. He's come in from Real Sociedad. He had some injuries, but over the last, we've been undefeated in 5 of the last 5 games. He's been absolutely exceptional. He's passing out from the back. He's just unbelievable, and he's been a real shining light of late. Got his first goal against Liverpool on Monday night as well. So Llorente's got to be in there for me. What about yourself from a centre back, mate?
Well, I was nice to because I have one United centre back and one Leeds centre back. Now I had Llorente as well. Because I don't think United's defence is particularly amazing. I think that's the one area of the team where you could argue with any team in the league, there's probably at least one centre-back that's better. Now, I might be being harsh on Lindelof to leave him out because I've gone for Harry Maguire to partner him. Because I think Lindelof has shown bits of brilliance. I mean, we saw his assist against Granada for Marcus Rashford, the long ball over the top. And defensively, he's been very good in games like in Liverpool, again, against the likes of Tottenham as well. But I'm just still not convinced on him, unfortunately. So I'm going to concede that one to you. I'm going to give Llorente that one. But I'm going to stand firm on Harry Maguire.
Yeah, look, in mine, I had Harry Maguire in as well. I know if you're not a Manchester United fan, he gets a load of stick, and a lot of it's to do with the price tag, etc. But he's capable, and he just makes a few errors at times. You know what I mean? But
even with those errors, though, in the last 5 or 6 games, I don't think he has made too many errors. And you say from non-United fans, it's also from United fans that they give him a lot of stick, and I think it's unfair sometimes. I think if you watch him closely, he is a big part of why this team is able to see out such wins like we saw against Tottenham, where sometimes we are under the cosh a little bit, but he gets us out of certain situations. Yeah, he makes the odd mistake here and there, and yes, maybe you can argue he wasn't worth the money we paid for him, but Harry Maguire's been a key part of this team, and there's a reason why he's our captain. I mean, and he's shown it off the pitch as well.
And I think that's the thing as well, isn't it, Carfit? Like, if you're a Manchester United fan and you're unhappy with Maguire, ultimately he's been made captain. You've paid 80 million for him. He ain't going anywhere. So you need to just like grin and bear it, kind of thing, because they're not gonna, first of all, end up with egg on the face having to move him on if they've paid 80 million for him and they've made him captain. So it is what it is. But he was in my team alongside Llorente as well. Let's move into the midfield three then. Look, Leeds United, I've got Calvin Phillips in there all day. He's been in every single team. He's an exceptional talent. He plays for England, rightly so, although most fans outside of Leeds think he shouldn't be. But I think, what have you made to Calvin Phillips, Carfit?
I really like him in the Championship when you guys were going on that run and he was picking up a little bit of news headlines. I thought when I was watching him, I thought, you know what, I want to see him in the Premier League, because we've seen so many players in the Championship that they rock it there and then they get to the Premier League and they find it a little bit tough. But I think the Premier League suits Calvin Phillips, and I think he's a player that, as you said, England could use him. I don't particularly think he should be starting alongside a Declan Rice. It should be one or the other for me. But I think he gets into this team because he's a player that I think would fit into this United team. Now, when I was looking at this team and thinking which sort of Leeds players would I want, I was thinking in terms of who would fit into this United team currently, and I thought Calvin Phillips is the exact kind of player we're screaming for in that number 6 holding midfield position, and I'd love a player like him. So 100%, I'd agree with you on that.
Nice. Although, I mean, he would never go there. Let's just say that. Although Alan Smith did, you never say never, do you? You never know. But I can't say that. Go on then, mate. I've got two. Go with your other two. I want.
If you've included a Leeds player in these next two midfielders, I'm going to be questioning it, because I've got Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, because you can't go anyone else.
Yeah, look, I'll get hammered for this.
No, he's not.
No, I'll get hammered. No, the reason I say, mate, is because Leeds fans will be screaming out Stuart Dallas, Stuart Dallas, Stuart Dallas, and I understand it. However, Bruno's been exceptional, and I think Pogba's been in some real form of late as well. Against Tottenham, I thought he was really great, really good, Paul Pogba. And look, I've got them both. I have got them both in there. I say that conceding it because I know people are watching this will be like, Joe, what are you doing? It should be all Leeds. It's Manchester United. But look, I did have a midfield three of KP, Bruno Fernandes, and Paul Pogba, because when he's on it, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, especially this season. Like I've said it before, that Paul Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer seems like a completely different animal. Now, I say that because he's been given a bit more freedom. He's not been given the same defensive responsibilities. And look, we might lose him in the summer, sure. But at the minute, he's looking on it. He looks like he wants to be here. Yeah. We'll take it. But just out of interest, if you were going to argue for anyone, who would you put in? Would it be Stuart Dallas?
It would be Stuart Dallas, yeah. Rodrigo's he's had COVID, injuries, etc. He's injured at the moment, so I wouldn't really say, based on current form, he could go in. Click, he's been out of form, he's now on the bench. So the midfield that we have is Tyler Roberts and Dallas, and Dallas has been exceptional. Don't get me wrong, it's just amazing the trajectory that man's been on, and obviously scoring against City the way he did. He scored at Old Trafford as well, one of the goals. He's been exceptional and probably will get and should get Leeds as player of the season, if I'm being totally honest. But I just think with the players that Manchester United have got available and the form that they're in, you're second for a reason. I think Bruno and Pogba go in there.
Just quickly on that Rodrigo one, why does he play in midfield for you? Because he was a clear number 9 before, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's Bielsa, mate. It's Bielsa. Maybe he was brought in initially as a competition or replacement for Bamford, but Bamford's been in exceptional form this season. So he's always going to find it hard to replace him. And the thing is as well, whenever Bamford's taken out, we lose something massively from pressing aspect, and Rodrigo's not quite up to that yet. I mean, we've got two young kids, Geldart and Greenwood, in the under-23s. We picked up Geldart. Apparently, he's the next Wayne Rooney. We've heard it before, but honestly, though, mate, he's exceptional. We bought him from Wigan, and we've got a kid called Greenwood who we got from Arsenal. And Bielsa's been switching them two around in all the under-23s games. So he likes his players to play a number of positions, and he probably sees Rodrigo as just behind all the number 9, But I think it'll be next season for Rodrigo. We broke our transfer fee for him, but I think under Bielsa, if you don't hit the ground running, they will always get it second time around, because it's hard to get up to what he requires for you, in terms of body fat, murder ball, etc. We've seen it with a number of players. Second season, they go up to that next level. Let's go to the front three then. From the left, mate, who have you got?
I've got Marcus Rashford on the left. Now, you could, and I'm gonna explain myself, because I know straight away people are gonna say Marcus Rashford hasn't had a great season this season, and I agree, he's not. But he's carried this Manchester United team. Now, he's playing with an injury that's probably lasted about a year now, and I think that deserves a bit of respect on its own, especially considering he's matching the number of goals and assists near enough to what he did last season, and that's something I wouldn't expect with his current overall form. And I think, as I said, the numbers that he's almost on set. He's almost set to have his best season ever now, because he's that close to last season. Last season was his best season, and he's close to beating it. So for me, Marcus Rashford goes on the left.
Yeah, I think he's I've got him in there as well from the left. I think he's the only Manchester United player that Leeds fans will sort of accept, just because of all his decent work that he does outside of football. So he's the one Manchester United player we don't mind, I think. But I've got Marcus Rashford in there. I know he's a Manchester United player, but I do really, really like him. I think he's a great footballer. On the right-hand side then, mate, I'm going Rafinha all day. He's been in every single side that I've had, along with KP. Exceptional buy at just 17 million. He would walk in. Look, he might not get in the starting 11 at, say, City, but I think the majority of the other sides up there, he'd go straight in. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. Would Rafinha get straight in at Man United?
I picked him as well, and yes, he would, because we're screaming for a right winger. Because we were linked with him for a little bit. I don't know if it was a strong link. It was a pretty short link, but as you said, 17 million. What a buy! It's not often that you can go and get a player of his quality for that amount of money. He's got everything: pace, dribbling ability, and he can finish as well. So, very good player, and he would walk into our team. Yes.
Yeah, I think he would get in the majority of sides. And I think the great business is Leeds have come out and said they're going to follow a Leicester model. There may come a time, if we don't get into Europe, that he moves on, but know that when he does, it'll be almost 4 or 5 times the amount of 17 million that we paid for him. So, we're quids in that respect. So I gave you Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. So I'm saving my thought for the top spot, because I feel it might be between Cavani and Bamford. I don't know. Is it Cavani? I'm assuming it is Cavani.
Yes, it's got to be Edinson Cavani. You're not about to tell me that Patrick Bamford is about to enter this team ahead of Edinson Cavani, who played at Paris Saint-Germain and Napoli, and you're going to pick Patrick Bamford?
Yeah, he's played Middlesbrough, MK Dons, Crystal Palace.
No. He's actually going to do this to me as well.
But where's Cavani in the goal scoring charts this season?
Look, he might not have the same number, right? I agree, but he's had injuries. He's moved to a new country, right? He's been accused of racism for the most stupid reasons. He's mentally just not here, and yet he's bagging them in when he's playing. And quite frankly, if you compare the two, I know you'd rather have Cavani in your team, Now, don't lie to me. If Cavani knocks on Bielsa's door and he goes, "I want to come and play for you," you're going, "Yes, get out, Bamford." In comes Eddie. You know it as well. That's why he's smiling.
I'm not responding. I will not respond to that question.
The lack of a response is enough of a response, which means you have to put him in now.
Yeah, honestly, do you know what? Bamford's been in that City one, but admittedly, no Aguero, Jesus. I put him. He got in the Liverpool one, or ahead of Firmino, Mane, etc. I think I gave you Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
No, you can't do this. No.
So I'm gonna have to Look, how many games has Cavani played though?
Who's the better striker?
Paddy Bamford.
See, you just laughed. You know you're lying as well. Come on, who's the better striker?
Paddy Bamford.
Say it with a straight face and I'll let you have it. Who is the better striker?
Patrick Bamford.
You're smiling.
Garthy, I'm overruling, brother. I'm overruling. Just because I gave you Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Bamford for me, he wins it just on goals, on numbers. Although, admittedly, Cavani, was it Southampton when he came on and just got 2 quick-fire goals? It was like, wow, okay. Will he go in the summer, do you think, Cavani?
Unfortunately, it looks like it, but I'm hopeful that he'll stay because it affects what we do in the transfer market because we all know we need a number 9. We know we do. If we can keep Cavani for another season, that means we can push that striker for another season. Maybe even going for Haaland when his release clause kicks in. So definitely, I hope we keep him, not just because of that, but because he's a fantastic player.
If he goes, who would you go out? Would it be Bamford?
Who
would it be?
I'd chuck money on Harry Kane. That's who it would be.
Yeah,
it's got.
I have a sneaky suspicion. Like I've had it for when you just get them feelings. Like I think if Fergie was at Manchester United, he'd have already signed Harry Kane.
100%.
He'd have already signed him. I think he's it makes sense that move as well. But it's going to cost big bucks, innit?
Yeah, well, it'll cost you at least 120.
Yeah, at least I'd say at least 150. Right, especially with Daniel Levy, you know what he's like. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough. But yeah, let's we'll put together that team and stick it on the screen. There we go, then, Carfit. That's our combined 11. Taking a look at it, mate. How do you feel about that?
The fact I've allowed a silver goalkeeper and Patrick Bamford is just unacceptable to me. I feel ashamed.
I know when I look at it, right, and I see it's like there's no special cards for any of the leagues. Well, apart from Bamford and Rafinha, but that's all good. But how do you think that team would get on, bro?
It would do all right, I think, because you've got the quality of Rashford, you've got the quality of Bruno, Pogba, Luke Shaw's there to get your forward runs. You've got Wan-Bissaka to cover. Maguire's going to be a captain in that team, and that'll carry us. Notice how I've left out all the Leeds players.
Yeah, I did notice that, mate. Yeah, I think, look at it though, right? Llorente is better than Lindelof. Phillips is better than McTominay, better than Fred, in my opinion. Rafinha would get straight in, and Bamford scored more goals than Cavani. You'd argue that you'd actually be winning the league with them extra Leeds players in, Karthik, I think.
Look, the midfield has got a bit more balance to it, but I'm not having this Bamford chat. Don't say the word Bamford to me. I'm just going to get angry.
Right, remember this, right? Because if he scores the winner, that'll
get clipped up, innit?
Yeah, it is. But that'll be just perfect, mate. If Bamford scores that winner now, please,
it's fine.
Patrick.
It's fine. I've had worse. I've had worse clipped up. You know what? I'll say it as well. Bamford's not scoring on Sunday. Cavani is. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
You can clip me on that.
Yeah, mate. To be honest, when you beat us 6-2 in our watch along, I was giving it the big one before the game, and I went, look at Solskjaer. He's put Dan James in there just because he nearly played for us. He's rubbish, and he ended up scoring and having a good game. So it was like swings and roundabouts, innit? Swings and roundabouts. But thank you, though, Karthik, for joining me. Where can Leeds fans find you when we beat you on Sunday and they want to hear your ramblings after the game? What can we look for?
Once we've won and Bamford's not scored, they can come find me at youtube.com/AllForUnited. I'll usually be on there, and you can find me on Twitter, which is below at Mr. Cartshaw.
Cool. Legend, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. And no, I can't even wish you good luck for after Sunday. No, I nearly said it and it was like, no, this is Manchester United. Although I have found myself over the last few days due to this shocking thing, this Super League stuff, I have been tweeting out, get the Glazers out, which before, from afar, I was like, I'm quite enjoying it that they're going through all this stuff. Yeah. But now, after seeing what the horrible American owners and all the rest of them tried to do to our football in general, there has been a real unite for a little bit. It won't last forever, but just for the time being, get the Glazers out, mate.
I had that the other day when John Henderson was trying to get the captains together. I was like, you know what, I like that. And then it died and I went, right, I can go back to hating them now. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Quick turnaround. But thank you as always, Karthik, and thank you everyone for watching. Smash a like on it, subscribe, all that jazz. Peace.